Chapter 1, Silently, the Shadow Stirs. The guard tower shouted directions over intercom systems while alarms blared in the background, security forces and guards racing through chaotic hallways. The bodies of their fallen comrades were strewn across the floor, boots pounding against the corridor as panic surged through their ranks. "Hurry, he's escaped and he's killing guards," a guard's voice crackled over the comms. Another shouted, "Send reinforcements, ah!" His words cut off by a loud, agonizing scream. Then the comms went silent. As the remaining guards poured into the dark corridor, their only light came from intermittent flashes of the emergency lights. The scene was horrific. Some bodies were crushed and crumpled, others smoldered and charred, as if tortured by electricity. When they reached the source of the chaos, the combination of blaster fire, smoke, blood, and scorching metal filled the air with a metallic stench, enough to make anyone with a weak stomach vomit. From deep within the shadows, a single red lightsaber ignited, its low screeching hum slicing through the darkness. Instantly, the blade cut down countless guards. Flashback. 1 week prior, after careful months of planning, the time has come, my friends. The dark voice spoke, using the dark side of the Force to color its tone and cadence. Pausing to let his words settle, he continued. 1 week from now, all those who are locked in here with us, who do not side with us, side with me. But above all else, his voice deepened, darker, colder, side with the vision, will be eliminated. The secluded hall of the prison erupted into shouts and cheers. Humans, Twi'leks, Zabraks, mercenaries, pirates, and bounty hunters, all once imprisoned, discarded, or thrown away by the galaxy, celebrated the promise of chaos. The speaker lifted an arm briefly. Silence fell. "Go now," he commanded, quietly yet swiftly, "and make preparations." His final warning cut through the air like a blade. Do not be discovered, for discovery means death. Then, melting into the shadows, he vanished with his lieutenants trailing silently behind. Back to the present. The crimson blade moved in a furious blur, wild yet controlled, precise yet lethal. In the intermittent flashes of the alarms, a faint, dreadful smirk traced his lips, a grim pleasure in the carnage. He bellowed a Force scream, a surge of the dark side that froze the majority of guards for the briefest moment, allowing him to cut through their numbers so quickly, some didn't even realize they were dead. The comms crackled. A stressed, anticipatory voice reached him. "Where are you? We won't have much time before backup arrives. We're approaching an hour." The lightsaber wielder, cutting down the last of the armory guards, replied simply, "I'm on my way. Make your way to the hangar and ensure everyone is aboard the ship." "We've taken care of things," the lieutenant answered. "We'll be there in 5 minutes, but we can't take off unless the hangar doors are open and the ray shields down." Already sprinting, the red-bladed figure replied, "I'll take care of it." "The armory is 10 minutes from the control room," the lieutenant warned. "I know a shortcut," he said, slashing through any lingering guards or inmates who hadn't pledged loyalty. Arriving at the control room, the heavy blast doors were sealed tight to keep rioting inmates out. Using the Force, he sensed the weakest point and plunged his crimson saber into the reinforced metal. Minutes passed before he finally reached the locking mechanism and thrust the blade through, unsealing the doors. Blaster fire erupted as he stepped through. The prison's warden and the last remaining guards made a desperate final stand. He deflected bolts, then used the Force to lift corpses as shields, floating them between him and his attackers. Closing in, he hurled the corpses at his enemies, slicing through them with lethal precision. The warden's desperate shots were no match for his blade. With a quick slash and a scream of pain, the warden crumpled to his knees. Before delivering the final blow, he spoke, his tone chilling and precise. "Warden, do you think I didn't know about your 2 rat informants who infiltrated our ranks? I let them stay to feed you false information, lull you into a false sense of security. That is why you weren't prepared." Narrowing his gaze, his words grew colder. "Neither is the galaxy." He swung his lightsaber in a swift, diagonal slash, piercing the warden's heart, draining life from his eyes in a single strike. Scanning the control room, he found the controls for the ray shields and blast doors. With a deft cut into the command console, sparks flew, systems failed, and small flames erupted. Through the large windows overlooking the hangar, he saw the cruiser-class ship stolen by his lieutenants. Using the force, he cracked the glass and sprinted through, cushioning his landing midair. Retrieving his lightsaber as it flew into his hand, he ascended the landing ramp. "Burn it down," he commanded. "With pleasure," one lieutenant replied, pressing the detonator. Explosions rippled through the prison, massive fires consuming the facility. On that night, the one who escaped was a Sith acolyte, powerful in the dark side, accompanied by 20 loyal lieutenants. Through the Force, for a briefest of moments, he sensed a distant stirring, a presence long dormant on a remote outer rim world, awakening after thousands of years.